In light of this, the ministry, through the newly established State Department for Children's Services, has adopted a multi-pronged approach to advocate for increased budgetary allocations, ensuring that children protection financing is mainstreamed into national broader planning and resource mobilization frameworks. The key actions taken are as outlined before. High-level budget advocacy and engagement. In May 2025, the ministry held consultations with the Departmental Committee on Social Protection of the National Assembly to make a case for increased investment in children's services. A formal request was submitted seeking an additional 10 billion above what was earmarked for the financial year 2025-2026, and the justification is emphasized as below. The urgent need to scale up children protection service delivery in response to rising cases of abuse, neglect, and exploitation. The financial requirements for recruitment and deployment of additional children officers, the operationalization of new sub-county offices and mobile outreach services, and strengthening data management through the Child Protection Information Management System, known as CPIMS. The second action is integration of children services priorities in national planning frameworks. The ministry has ensured that the strategic priorities of the State Department for Children's Services are well integrated within the medium-term expenditure framework and are aligned to key national development blueprints, including Kenya Vision 2030 and its social pillar, the fourth-term plan MT4 2023-2027, the bottom-up transformation agenda, particularly its focus on social protection, inclusion, and human capital development. These alignments aim at making children protection a national priority, thereby increasing the visibility and competitiveness of the funding proposals of the State Department for Children's Services during the national budget process. C, administrative restructuring for greater budget visibility. Following the recent restructuring, the State Department for Children's Services was separated from the State Department for Social Protection and Senior Citizen Affairs. These has significantly enhanced the visibility of the State Department for Children's Services, thereby revealing the deep need for greater budgetary allocation within the national fiscal framework to enable more targeted planning and resource allocation for child protection functions. The second action is budget estimate for 2025-2026. As per the ministry's recent submissions to the National Treasury in May 2025, the total budget estimate for the newly established State Department for Children's Services for the year 2025-2026 is Kenya shillings 12.318 billion. This is broken down as follows. The recurrent expenditure is 12 billion 74 million, and the development expenditure is 244 million. See the below for the detailed line items under the recurrent vote. I am sure that you already have that. So on the economic classification, compensation to employees is 1,167,867,643. Use of goods and services is 610,885,301. Current transfer to government agencies is 10,249,698,000. Non-financial assets is 45,625,350, making that total of 12,074,076,294. Then we have cash transfers to orphans, what we call OVC. This is orphans and vulnerable children, which is 9,130,736. The State Department is currently supporting 445 children, 516 households, no, 445 516 households as per the October 2025 payroll. So that is money that we receive and then we send directly to these families. So the total recurrent budget exclusive of personnel emoluments, that is PE, we have rehabilitation schools. The budget is 127,448,388. Then children's remand homes, 98,383,588. National Council for Children's Services is 81,117,000. Sub-county children's services is 44,192,375. Then we have children's services. We have the headquarters. 34,355,784. Headquarters emergency relief and refugee assistance is 330 million. Alternative family care services is 3,882,225. Child Welfare Society of Kenya 600,045,000. Counter trafficking in persons is 2,016,475. And presidential bursary is 100 million. The National Assistance Trust Fund, victims of counter trafficking, we have 13,500,000. Kenya National Children Assembly is 6.3 million. Kenya Child Helpline 116 is, that is an helpline that is open to all children, is 8 million. Children services at regional offices, 5,603,263. Cash transfers, which I already mentioned earlier, to is 9,130,736. 9,130,736,000. Street Families Rehabilitation Trust Fund is 180 million. Headquarters Administrative Services is 106,445,113. AIDS Control Unit, 3,225,938. Information Communication Technology, 10,786,813. Personnel Administration Services is 3,225,938. Finance and Procurement Services, 7,207,688. And Central Planning and Project Monitoring Unit is 6,627,337, making a total of 10,909,434,589 Kenya shillings. We now go to the development projects. I will be able to mention the project and the approved budget for the year 2025-2026. Renovation of Meru Children's Remand Home is 1.96, that is in million. Construction of a kitchen and dormitory at Dagoretti Children Rehabilitation School, 15 million. Fencing of vocational rehabilitation centers and remand homes, 25 million. Renovation of Likoni Children Rehabilitation School, 10 million. Renovation of Nakuru Children's Remand Home, 11 million. Fencing of Ketathuru National Reception and Classification Center, 4.42. Renovation of Nyeri Children's Remand Home, 10,000,054. Renovation of Manga Children's Remand Home, 3.68 million. Othaya Children's Rescue Center, 6,720,000. Renovation of Muranga Children's Remand Home, 7.88 million. Kericho Children's Rehabilitation School and Remand Home, 6.44. Fencing at the Othaya Children's Rehabilitation School in Nyeri is 6,630,000. Fencing of Kakamega Children's Remand Home, 4.71 million. Kakamega Children's Rehabilitation School, 9.6 million. Renovation of Mount Elgon Sub-County Children's Office, 1.59 million. Construction of Ijara Sub-County Children's Home, 2.6 million. Renovation of Murang'a Social Development Office, 10,000,023. And replacement of asbestos roofing and renovation of statutory children's one is 100 million. Then the medium-term budget projection for 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029. The ministry is working closely with the National Treasury to ensure a progressive increase in child protection funding over the medium term. The projected budget requirement for the State Department for Children's Services is given in the table below. That is the budget requirement for children's services in 3 outer financial years. Financial year 2026-2027 projected budget allocation is 12,056 million. 2027-2028 is 13.73 billion. 2028-2029 is 15.10 billion. That is progressive. It increases as the years go by. That is between 2026 to 2029. I will now proceed to answer question number 2. And the question was, what measures has the ministry put in place to ensure timely and full utilization of funds allocated for children welfare and protection through the Directorate of Children's Services and the Victims Protection Fund? Response. The ministry has implemented several operational and financial control measures. These are aligned with the best practices in Public Finance Management Act of 2012 to eliminate 2012 Public Procurement and Disposal Act of 2005 and its regulations of 2020 and aim to eliminate delays and inefficiencies. The ministry has undertaken the following. 1, timely approval of work plan, procurement plan, cash flow plan in financial year 2025-2026. Timely request of exchequer from the National Treasury. Timely approval of the planned departmental activities by the accounting officer and the AIE holders. Delays in approvals are tracked and reported to the Principal Secretary for action. Timely requisition of payments by sections and departments. And the ministry has consulted State Department for Public Work engineers and quantity surveyors for support to SDCs in preparing accurate and timely bill of quantities for its capital projects. Accounting officer has delegated authority to incur expenditure to heads of departments. AIE holders are empowered to approve payments within their limits, thus reducing bottlenecks. The Victim Protection Fund in Kenya aims to assist and support victims of crime and abuse of power. Established by the Victims Protection Act of 2014, the fund provides resources for victims, including legal and social services, and financial assistance for expenses related to their well-being. The Office of the Attorney General and the Department of Justice coordinates the function. The Ministry of Gender, Culture, and Children's Services also have responsibility over children's victims who are the most vulnerable and should be accorded priority treatment according to the Children's Act, Cap 141. The third question, which was, could the Cabinet Secretary also provide a breakdown of the number of children officers deployed to each of the 47 counties and specify the steps being taken to address the issue of officers being assigned to serve multiple counties simultaneously? Response. The breakdown of the number of children officers deployed to each of the 47 counties. As of June 2025, the number of children officers deployed nationwide to all 290 constituencies and to the 8 regions, 47 counties, and 353 operational sub-county offices was 714. This is shown in the table below. This is the list of all the counties. So in Baringo, the number of officers that are there are 20.
Honorable CS, you don't have to.
I don't have to read.
Yeah, because that document has been circulated. So just paraphrase it and conclude.
Yes, so I am guided. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So the total number of officers in the 47 counties, looking at the grand total is 714, and shows the variance. You'll find some other counties have more, others have less, and also because of the geographical distribution, that is something that I will address in the next few minutes as I give the analogy. So the ministry acknowledges that it acknowledges the critical role that children officers play in safeguarding the rights and welfare of Kenya's children. In recognition of the urgent need to safeguard and strengthen the child protection workforce, the Ministry of Gender, Culture and Children's Services, through the State Department for Social Protection and Senior Citizens Affairs, with support from UNICEF, commissioned a national workforce mapping report, official, which was launched in April 2025. This comprehensive exercise, initiated in 2023, analyzed the staffing status, deployment patterns, caseload, and operational gaps across the country, and the key findings from the report are summarized below. One is high child protection burden. From 2019, Violence Against Children survey, it was revealed that over 50% of children in Kenya experience violence before the age of 18, underscoring the magnitude of demand for child protection services. Then there is a severe staffing deficit. From the list that I gave earlier, which I read, currently we have 714 officers that are serving an estimated 18 million children nationwide. This translates to only 2.7 officers per 100,000 children, a ratio that falls significantly below both national needs and regional benchmarks. Operational and logistical challenges. The effectiveness of the officers on the ground is further hindered by inadequate induction and continuous training, unmanageable caseloads per officer, logistical limitations such as lack of transport and equipment, and uneven deployment, with some officers assigned to cover multiple counties, compromising service delivery. County-level deployment status. From the county-by-county breakdown of the deployment of children officers above, it is noted that the average number of officers per county is 15. Officers are present in 353 out of 407 sub-counties. Some sub-counties with high child populations are fewer than 5 officers. In at least 12 counties, children officers are responsible for more than one sub-county, leading to overstretched and burnout. Several sparsely populated counties are managed by a single officer, and in remote or sparsely populated counties, e.g. Mandera, Turkana, Samburu, and Lamu, some officers are covering multiple sub-counties due to workforce shortages. So the ongoing and planned interventions. So to address these workforce disparities, the ministry has initiated a series of immediate and long-term reforms as outlined below. Short-term to medium-term interventions. Recruitment proposal for the year 2025-2026. A proposal to recruit 500 additional children officers has been submitted to the Public Service Commission with the aim of reducing the burden on existing officers and eliminating multi-county, sub-county coverage by single officers. Targeted and equitable deployment, guided by the ministry's strategic plan and operational data. Staff rationalization will be prioritized in underserved counties and ensure station-based postings rather than regional assignments. Structured induction and training. We shall conduct comprehensive induction for recently recruited officers and continuous professional development for other officers to enhance the quality of child protection interventions at the grassroots. Digital workload management via CPIMS. The ministry is scaling up the Child Protection Information Management System to enable centralized workload tracking, remote case supervision, real-time workload balancing, and evidence-based deployment decisions. Those were now the short-term, medium-term interventions. We now go to long-term and structural reforms. strengthening the social service workforce. The ministry is taking steps to professionalize and stabilize the social service workforce, including liaison with other stakeholders to professionalize the social workforce, to regulate and accredit social service practitioners. Currently, the private members' bill that was in the National Assembly titled the Institute of Social Work Professionals Bills 2025, number 17, which was to establish a council. The bill was passed by National Assembly on 9th October 2025. Proposal to formally integrate child protection volunteers into the workforce through stipends, structured training and supervision, and restructure it to reflect the structure of community health promoters, who are very